All right, guys. Welcome back to the Caucus Challenge After Show, where we recap into each episode, dive deeper behind the scenes, and interview the cast. I'm Felicity, and I'm your host, and I'm so excited to be back. Joining us tonight are just a few people from our cast. We have Michigan's finest, CT. I know people.
Hey, check the weather. Check the weather.
We have this season's dark horse who's going to pull their weight, Joel.
Black horse, black horse.
We have the rookie queen, Miss Brady.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And we also have all the way from the West Coast our resident Cali boy, Jalen Roach.
Yes.
I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight, and I can't be the only one who's been dying for this season to come out. And I think I speak for all the viewers when I say that this season is going to be a season that we can't forget. So let's dive right in. And on the first episode of The Awakening, we find out there's no chance to take the lead of this game, and it's giving you all the opportunity for your redemption. For the first challenge, Partners in Crime, there were 3 stages where the players had to fill up the water jug by passing the water through all the cups in the line, scale the wall to grab your bandana, and complete a puzzle. So, first we're going to go for CT. So you were the one carrying the water in the first part of the challenge. One could even say that you had carried the team, right? So how is it that you were the last one to scale the wall, especially by yourself?
So
I was kind of at a loss because I didn't see you in the mix when everyone was running to the wall. And
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't see it either. We had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly we didn't go with the plan. The person at the time who was supposed to be left out without a flag was Jalen. I can't remember. Maybe Jalen does. I don't remember who gave Jalen his flag, but I'm running back and it was Amanda.
No, it was
Michaela.
I'm running back and forth. I didn't even know we were finished, you know? So I'm like, my mindset is I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep running back and forth and I'm going to get this water. And I'm running to go get the water and I turn around and my team is already at the wall. So then I'm like, well, shit. Like, there goes little old me. I did all of this running back and forth. I was hoping that somebody would come through and give me a flag. But welcome to the Caucus Challenge. There's no friends in this game, and you really have to fend for yourself at times. So what was going through my head is I'm not really trying to win the challenge. It's the first challenge. And there's still more game left to play. If I can't win the first challenge, I'll win the second one or the third one. So I remember Dre saying, people like don't get at the bottom. So at this point, I knew my chances of winning the competition was low, but I knew either way I had to grab a flag, and I wasn't going to rely on the other team because I also didn't necessarily want to help them. So yeah, I did what I needed to do. I climbed the wooden thing, climbed the wall, got the flag.
Yeah, you did it by yourself.
That's like I said, like I always say, I come to play, and if I have to climb the wall my damn self with no help, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be at the bottom, and I'm not coming to lose.
I loved it. Brady, how did you feel being team captain, and what was your strategy when picking your team for this first challenge?
I don't know. I had very mixed feelings about it because on one hand, I was like, okay, like this can help me like build connections and relationships with people. But on the other hand, I was like, I don't want to piss people off. I don't want people to be mad at me. So it was kind of like a mixed feeling, honestly. Like I knew that as a team captain, especially when I found out I was against Jay West as a team captain, we're both rookies, but I felt like I had a little bit more information on like people's past games, how people have performed in the past. So I kind of had that upper hand, I guess, in a sense. So I just picked based off people who I knew were strong, people I knew were communicative, or whatever the word is. I can't even speak today.
No, you got it.
Weird, but yeah, just people that I feel like could work well as a team, and I just wanted to make sure that the dynamic of our team was something that was very cohesive, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys definitely had the most cohesive team. And yeah, congrats on winning that first part, making the top 4. So Joel, I know I said that I wasn't going to be mean, and I feel like this question you might take as mean, but I said it so jokingly when I was writing this. But you introduced yourself as the black horse who's going to pull their weight, right?
Yes.
So what happened at the wall?
Girl. So here's the thing. I don't know who came up with this pairing of me and Michaela and then it turned to me and Brady. But I'm just like, here's me. I'm 125. I can't lift anybody up. So like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, somebody has to lift me up.
No, I was
Like,
rooting for you. I was
and
rooting for you to get on the pole, stand up, and just grab the flag and dip.
if you thought I was going to pull a CT and climb up that wall, think again, because that wasn't happening. So I needed somebody. And what I was thinking too is like, the only person I could possibly pick up in this situation on our team was Malin. But Malin didn't say like 3 words to me like the whole time. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let her do her. I'm gonna let them pick the person they want me to pick up. And somehow it became Michaela, which Michaela didn't want to team up with me. So it was just like, I didn't know what was going on.
At that time, did you know that she was teamed up with Jalen?
Yeah, they did. Well, Kevin came up to me and told me that Jalen is gonna try to take Michaela, so you need to go get Michaela. And I love Jalen, so I'm just like, I don't want to just up and steal Michaela from Jalen. So I'm just gonna like have to figure it out. And I don't know what happened when we got to the wall, how me and Brady ended up teaming up, because I think Brady was supposed to team up with CT, if I'm not mistaken. And somehow me and Brady just locked eyes. We was like, bitch, let's do it. And we just like, I got on the ground and I was like, let's go, girls. Step on me.
Honestly, Brady, you had me crying from like minute 1 of this episode. Like all of your interviews, all of that just had me bawling. I was crying the entire time.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I try to like just be relatable because like obviously I'm not perfect. So like I just wanted to express myself in like my authentic ways, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, Jalen, it's your turn. So I heard a little birdie told me that you were trying to throw the first daily challenge.
I was trying to. Okay, sorry. You can finish your thing.
For me, as a viewer, like that's really shocking because I've seen you be really competitive. I've seen you just put your whole heart in, especially when it came to the first challenge in the last season with Amanda. So I kind of just want to know why, because I was really shocked when I heard that.
Yeah, there was like this, and I didn't get to talk about it like on the episode, but immediately when the teams were picked and everyone started splitting off and figuring out who the partners were going to be, I gravitated towards Michaela because Amanda was a partner last season. I know Amanda and Michaela are close, and I didn't really trust Kristen, CT, Kevin, people. And the birdie that really told me a lot of shit before the game started was Brady. She told me, watch your back, watch this. And I already had my hesitancies, but I can go to a game and not play personally. I can play strategically. And on a strategic standpoint, it just made sense for our crew, the vets, to come in and work together. That way we didn't, fuck each other over and be an early boot. Which, I mean, for them coming for me, whatever, do whatever's best for your game. But I thought it was dumb as fuck. But when I start talking to Michaela and then Kevin comes up to Michaela and keeps pulling her off to the side, whispering in her ear, I'm not fucking dumb. Like, clearly I know what you're trying to do. He was trying to get her to get a flag to Joel or CT and make sure I did not get a flag. And so, and Michaela even confided in me and said, yeah, this is what's going on. I'm like, okay, thank you so much for being honest. But she was down to ride. But honestly, I trusted more people on the other team than I did my own. And when it comes down to it, Drake said, don't beat the bottom. But as long as I'm not on the bottom by myself, I would rather go with those odds than winning, having our team win, and having my fate in somebody else's hand. And so I started with the challenge. There's only so much water I can dump down Oscar's back, but the other team was just so bad that it was like, all right, well, I guess we have to win. And then if we're going to go ahead and win this thing, maybe I can win the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I wasn't expecting that. So sorry, guys. Excuse me. Oh my god. Okay, we're good. Okay. Thank you guys. So I was super surprised to hear that just because I've seen you be such a strong competitor, and I felt like you were gonna have that alliance with the vets going into this. But I don't know. I guess you had your own game to play, and I thought that you're playing it smart so far, from what I'm seeing.
And I hate throwing competitions.
Yeah.
I even for a second was trying, knowing that there's a good chance that whoever wins is going to throw me in.
Mhm.
But once I realized that the team just sucked, I was like, okay, we're going to win. Let me go ahead in the game.
Mhm. Gotcha. Well, I actually love that challenge. I'm so glad that Dre brought that in. So let's get into the elimination where Jay and Jalen are thrown in. So Jalen, how did you feel when Kevin threw your name in after you had just said that he was one of the players that you trusted?
It sucked because going into this game, I didn't really have any friends from the real world. Lance wasn't playing. There's no champs in the game, which I'm glad because I fucked over a lot of the champs. But Ash and CT were real life friends. Kevin lives in Jersey now and has so many real life friends. A lot of the girls have real life friends. I feel like out of the vets, I was one of the. I don't want to say the only vet because there might be a few. I mean, like Clay's also a vet that doesn't really have any like real life friends in this game. I feel like in this game, like not having people I did life with on the daily basis. So going in, like I really wanted to rely on my vets, but part of me was surprised, but part of me wasn't. And it was just one of those bitter pills you have to swallow and realize this is how the game's going to go. Like, they're coming for me. There's nothing I can do about it. It sucks. What was crazy is, like, I wouldn't have thrown Kevin in, but there's no way to know that for him, you know? So he had to do what's best for his game, and it clearly didn't work out for him in this episode, so.
I mean, you guys had like a really bro moment right before the elimination when he had thrown you in and like pulled you aside, and I really enjoyed that. Do you feel like it was your gameplay and your strategy from last season that kind of got you where you are this season?
I think people view me as a big threat, yes. But I think for Kevin specifically, I think for him it was more of a paranoia that I would be bitter about him throwing me in last minute. And I think he wanted to get on the jump before I could throw him in. And I wasn't bitter. Even last season, I told CT, this is probably going to happen. And it did. And then going into this season, like I hope Kevin could look past that because I clearly could. You know, I forgot I was going to say something that I really wanted to say. But at the end of the day, I have snaked the champs last season. I've been really, really loyal, but I've also been really, really snaky. And so at the end of the day, and I think I said this in the episode, who am I to become a bitter bitch over someone throwing me in, betraying me and snaking me when I have done the same thing in the past? That would be completely hypocritical of me. Although I don't agree, I understand.
Gotcha. Speaking of loyalties, especially yours, I want to ask CT, and I want to give him the chance to explain why he had told Amanda that Jalen would throw her name in. And I kind of want to know what exactly was said, too.
So, here's the deal. Going into the game, there was a major alliance that was formed with me, Amanda, Jalen, Kristen, Kevin, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have, like, the Ashes and Brady's that I'm working with and trying to protect. And then I sort of spread myself thin, but the main alliance I'm working with was with the vets. However, Jalen wasn't included in that, only because of the perception I got from him from last season and what was maybe put in my head, manipulated into my head. I can admit that. But Jalen had a perception from last season as a manipulator. He was everyone's number one in my head. And so me and the group, everybody except for Amanda, were like, okay, so when we get the first chance, we're going to take that strike at Jalen. However, we knew Amanda wasn't going to be down with that plan because Jalen and Amanda worked so well together last season, and we know that they built that trust and that foundation as a strong duo, that power duo, that we know that like it's gonna take more than just us saying or us, you know, telling her we need to go for Jalen for her to be down. So that's when the plan came along that I created where, okay, whoever wins, and in this case it was Kevin. So Kevin won. We're gonna tell Amanda that Jalen, or now I'm gonna tell Amanda that Jalen said that he's not your number one, and if he had the chance that he was gonna vote you in. To put that doubt that Jalen is Amanda's number one in her head. I love Amanda, but I wasn't necessarily trying to manipulate Amanda in a way to do what I wanted her to do, but it was more so of a way to keep her head in the game. I didn't want her to scramble, and I also didn't want Jalen to know. Now Jalen didn't actually say that. That was a lie. The entire thing was a lie. Jalen didn't actually say that. Jalen was gonna protect Amanda at all costs, but by me putting that doubt in Amanda's head, it was either gonna confuse her or make her hop on board.
Okay. Brady or Joel, like, did you guys see this plan coming into formation? Did you guys witness all this and see Amanda's reaction or Jalen's reaction? Do you guys want to say anything about that?
You can go first. Yeah, go ahead. I was like, you can go.
I mean, like, I didn't know that the plan was formed, like that specific plan. I witnessed it though. I didn't really know what was happening because like I knew like where I stood with a lot of people, but I didn't know where other people stood with one another. So it was more so like I wasn't sure. I was confused about who was telling the truth and who wasn't. Like I was genuinely as confused as anybody else. So like I had to like whisper to someone. I'm like, wait, who's telling the truth? Because I genuinely did not know like what actually was said. So yeah, but I don't know. Amanda was really, really pissed. I remember. And I remember Jalen was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And CT's like, "Yeah, you did say that." So it was just like a three-way like conversation that was just like very interesting to watch play out.
Joel?
It was like honestly shocking to me because like Jalen was like really upset that somebody lied on him or whatever. And me, I was in the background happy that I made it to the top 4. So I was saying, I didn't care what was going on.
Floating.
Sorry. I didn't care what was said. But I was just like, damn, like, we really, like, popping off right now. But CT, like, you did that. Like, not even gonna lie. Like,
yeah,
you really got under, I guess it got under Amanda's skin, but, like, you really made her, like, feel like something was said that what shouldn't have been said. So kudos to you.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your reaction was so genuine in terms of like what to expect from the Caucus Challenge if you're gonna come on here, and it's gonna be cutthroat, it's gonna be like unexpected, all of that. Especially within the first episode, I feel like I've never seen something like that before, and yeah, Jalen, I wanted to wait for you so you can gather your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks.
How did you feel in that moment? Because I know
there was a sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
There was a mix of like coming to terms with a lot of things. I was coming to terms with it's not just Kevin who's after me. It's like, okay, everybody I thought I was with. And that kind of sucked because last season I screwed over JT, Deja, Mike.
Right.
Damaris and I didn't really have an alliance. I didn't screw her over, but I sent her in. I screwed those people over for this crew. I've never done anything against CT. I've never done anything against Kevin. Lied to Kristen, I get that. But as far as like my boys, like they were my boys last season, they were my boys this season. So I was mourning the loss of what I thought was going to be this alliance. And then Kevin backstabbed me, and now CT's in on it, and Kristen's in on it, and it's everybody. And then there's this other side of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl that I care so much about, and Amanda, someone who I went this last season, like Amanda and I's partnership was something that was so special to me. And I know it was special to her. And we worked together so well, and she became one of the closest to me in Caucus Challenge. And I went into the season, especially like I would do anything for Amanda. Like I want to see her flourish. I think she deserves a W. I think she's a great competitor, and I have a soft spot in my heart for Amanda, and I will always be there for her in life, in the game, and anything else. So what killed me was I can tell in her face that she really believed it. And I was like, wow, this truly transcends the game. I understand the move, but this transcends the game and is impacting my relationship with someone on a personal level. And so I had to call it out and really bring it out into the open, because at this point, what else do I have to lose? I love this girl to death, and I want to kind of figure out what's going on. And kudos to CT for attempting to do something that was going to help Amanda go along with the plan. But you know what? Like, at the end of the day, I have so much respect for the game that I understand. I can look at things from a game perspective, but in this moment, the only thing I really cared about was my personal relationship with Amanda, and kind of making sure that she knows that I would never say that, do that, and that I love her to death.
Aww. See, this is the first time I'm about to cry on this show. Okay, so we have to move on. I'm sorry. So she did say that she loves you in the chat.
Oh, I love you, Amanda.
Aww. So let's move on to the shock factor. Were you guys shocked that Jalen was going against Damien in this tournament? Anyone can take it.
For me personally, I wouldn't necessarily say I was shocked. I mean, like, obviously, I had knew what the main plan was to get Jalen in, or the plan that was in motion was to get Jalen into that elimination. And with Damien going in, like, was it sad to see that he was going in? Of course, because I personally don't want to see the rookies go early. I feel like there's other people who've done 7, 6 seasons who could have went before them.
Right.
But also at the same time, I was just a rookie last season, and I know how this shit goes.
Yeah.
And I know just as much as the champs don't have an easy ride, the rookies don't have an easy ride as well. So I knew that there was a huge chance that one of those rookies were going in, and it just had to be Damien. It's sad, but I mean, it's the challenge, and it is what it is.
Did anyone else know about the plan to not conspire, but to throw Jalen in?
I was literally shocked. Like, you can tell in my confessional, I was just like, we were a team. We all worked together to, like, make it to the end. And then you threw in Jalen. That really threw me off. That made me think, like, okay, so now I can't trust no. Can I cuss on here?
You can.
I can't trust no fucking body anymore, because, like, what the hell is going on? So that's how I was thinking the whole time when that happened.
Can I just add something? I'm gonna be real. This plan wasn't like we're in the moment, I have to think of something quick. This plan was in motion weeks before filming. Even when we had a whole group chat, we even added Jalen to the group chat. Jalen and Amanda, and the whole entire group were making sure that everybody was feeling comfortable. Because don't get me wrong, Jalen's a smart player, and we knew going in that it wasn't going to be easy to fuck over Jalen, but this was a plan that has been thought about.
Gotcha. And Jalen, you knew about it?
No, I didn't know about it until I got there, and then I noticed there were some weird vibes. Then Brady confirmed the vibes, because Brady and I shared even a bed at the hotel. So we were in the same room, but we were in the same bed. And Brady's a lot of things, but a secret keeper is not one of them, girl. So she and like, I love Brady to death. I fucking love Brady.
It's okay.
But the girl is gonna spill the tea. She works at Starbucks, and when she's off, she still thinks she works at Starbucks, because she's gonna spill the tea and anything. But for her, it's great because as she's spilling all this tea that she's gathering night zero, that means a less and less target on her. So kudos to her. But she was telling me, watch out for this. I heard this. She wasn't giving me too much. That first challenge really confirmed it. But going into the game, no. I trusted Kevin. But I've never said this, I think. I don't know if I should say this.
This is where we get it out. This is where we get it out.
Had I won that first challenge and I was really close to winning,
Mm-hmm.
my plan, and you can ask Lance, you can ask, I think I told Dre, the guy that I was going to throw in the first elimination was CT.
Ah, bitch.
Oh my god!
I was
That
throwing
is
him in
crazy.
That's
because I didn't trust you. I felt weird vibes. I
Mhm.
felt whatever. And I'm glad I almost won that first challenge. That puzzle, I actually posted a birthday game where I hosted Brother, like Survivor, all that kind of stuff. I bought that Santanagram. And I think the world works in mysterious ways, you know?
Mhm.
Because I would have been a fucking fool to throw CT in thinking I could trust Kevin. And I'm glad that first round I figured out who I could trust and couldn't trust. So it kind of all worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the girls' elimination. So Brady, I think you embellished, but I want to know, how long did the girls' elimination really last?
So this is like
Man.
right. So during like the guys' elimination, like I was really parched. Like I needed water so bad. So, like I walked away during the elimination to get water, and by the time I came back, the guys' elimination was essentially over. So I was like, this took maybe 10 minutes, like maybe. So then I'm like, Jerry's like, okay, you guys can come back over and watch the girls now. And I'm like, okay, like this will probably be quick. Like, let me just drink my water and enjoy. But I was sitting on my ass on the grass for literally maybe like, I'm not even kidding you. Like it was a solid, probably almost 30 minutes, probably maybe. I would say probably around 30 minutes. And they had to flip the trash cans over because they both kept missing so much that they were just like, okay, let's just have a shootout at this point because it just would not end. And let me tell you, like, it was definitely an interesting elimination to watch, but I also was like kind of, it was a little boring.
I loved how you said LeBron lames. Is that what you said?
No, you just like overhead. I was like, what's happening?
That was top 5. I've been taking notes, guys. I'm going to clock you this whole season of everything you say. Okay, so let's get into the death match and the elimination, right? So what did everyone think of the death match twist? Were you anxious? Were you scared that you might eventually get to that point where you have to be in a death match? Or are you kind of confident that you're never going to make it to the bottom to be in a death match? Let's hear from Joel first.
Well, when it came to death, I love the twist, by the way. The death match twist was great. But I don't know. I just felt like I had such a confidence in me where I was like, I'm never going to this. I'm never going to see it. I never want to see it. So I'm going to do everything I can to not see it. So that was my take on it.
Okay. CT?
Honestly, I was a little bit nervous because the elimination matchups I'm used to is one person gets voted in and the power team picks another team. So that's just 4 people getting voted in. But now with this death match, there's a team voted in, and now 8 players, 4 guys and 4 girls, or 5 guys and 4 girls, are up for elimination. So that's different. That's almost like half the cast, and it was a little bit scary because it just shows like
no one is safe.
Yeah, if you don't win, then you could easily go home.
Yep. Or do you go home?
Oh, I guess you don't.
I'll say, as someone who was in the elimination, waiting to see who was going to pull a skull, it's kind of like, it's almost terrifying. And when you look back at it, it's like, I wonder what would have happened if any other guy pulled the red skull. Would I have won or would I have lost? It brings this element of luck and chance into this game. And as a player, I feel like I can win a comp when I need to. I feel like I can manipulate a house vote. I can get the numbers if I really, really need to. But when you in front of a bucket with a skull underneath, you can't manipulate that. It comes down to chance, and you're at the fate of the game.
And Brady?
I personally hated it. I thought that the luck aspect of the game, like I understand like that it's like a free agent type format vibe or Rivals 3 or whichever season it was. But I think that I have a couple thoughts. The first one is it kind of limits the strategic ability in the game, because say you want to target one person, like you can't really choose who you send them in against. It just comes down to luck. So like a lot of moves like won't be able to be fully executed, not because the people wouldn't be able to, but because of the fact that luck plays such a big part in the game. And on top of that, I feel like we have people coming from California, we have people driving from Texas, we have people coming from all over, and the fact that people's games could just be put into luck, it just like that kind of irks me a little bit. But I think like the strategy as a whole, like I respect it, like I get it, like it's a twist or whatever, but I don't know. I was like whatever about it, really.
Okay. And then on the same like topic, how did you guys feel about 4 relics being given away in the first round? We can go backwards. Let's start with Brady.
It was dumb. It was so dumb. Like I here's the thing, right? Getting a relic for a round, sure, I get it. The entire day, like I don't know, like I get like maybe like having like a skull to get into a final or something. Like I understand that type of thing, but getting a relic to be safe for the entire fucking day, like because you won an elimination that like some people like, I mean like, I don't know. I just didn't really like it. I don't think people should have been safe the entire fucking day. I think it should have been a round personally, but that's just me.
Okay. Jalen?
I loved it. Clearly, I mean, I have no beef with the relic. After what just happened to me, I needed some time to just reformulate a strategy, and the relic was a breath in this game for me. And yes, I get what Brett's saying, like, oh, it's a whole fucking day. But the first day is always the shortest anyways. It's only like it's like 3 rounds in the first day. Typically, if like Worlds Collide, it was fucking 2 rounds in the first day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't really know going in the season how long the first day is going to last and what entails in the first day. So for me, it was a breath in the game for me to reformulate. I love the relic twist. Thank you, Dre Media. Thank you, Caucus Challenge Gods. Because, like, I just knew that first day would have been rough if I didn't have safety.
CT, what's your opinion?
Honestly, I think the relic twist is, I'm just going to say, interesting. I mean, it definitely messed with a lot of my plans as far as, you know, getting Jalen out. I mean, now he's safe for the whole day, so it's basically like a get out of jail free card. But also in the same aspect, it's interesting because it kind of forces you to think a little bit differently. You have to think 3 steps ahead, and also when you take that shot at anybody, this episode goes to prove it. This season, when you take the shot, you need to make sure that you get a headshot, because if you miss, that person's safe.
Yeah.
And now Jalen has time to conjure up plans, gather up votes, you know, put his situation in his favor. And so that's what makes it interesting. So it's like a blessing and a curse. Like, yes, it grants you safety for a good amount of time, but also at the same time, if the wrong person gets the relic, it's just like, what are you gonna do now?
And Joel?
For me, I agree with Brady. I feel like it should have been for just like a round, not like the whole first day. Because for me, like it added like this sense of urgency, like I had to hurry up and win, like either win the challenge or throw the challenge so I can be in elimination. And to be honest, I don't want to be in elimination. So I'm just like, I have to work extra hard to make sure I win the challenge against people that I see as like competition beasts. So I'm like, this shit right here is just like intense.
Yeah, I definitely added a twist that I've never seen on this game. I think for your guys' sake, it could be good or bad, but for the viewers' sake, it's really exciting, I have to say. Just the death match, the relic, the whole thing is just, this season's going to be crazy. And let me see. When I tell you guys that I was invested in the boys' elimination round, Jalen, I was screaming at you. I was so mad that you tripped. You could have won as soon as you made it to the table, right? And
I
then
know.
I was mad that he wasn't grabbing his exes. The girls, I was mad that they weren't making it. It was really emotionally investing. And, I'm excited to see more. So, I want to talk a little bit about the stuff that's been going on outside of the game. And let's see. CT. Let's
get it.
In terms of the first challenge, right? Especially when you're playing the water cups, when you're doing the wall and the puzzle, you had a comment on Dre Media that had said, another one of Clay's poorly thought out plans down in the flames. If he thought he was gonna outrun me, he had another thing coming. Check the weather.
Period.
And I didn't even catch on to you saying check the weather today, but yeah, I want you to kind of explain your side and let's hear it out.
So first of all, let me just start out by saying check the weather, because some of these competitors get on these high horse and just forget who they're competing against. Clay has this obsession with me, and that's fine. I'm used to it now. But when you compete against your rivalry, you need to back it up. And this is the second season in a row. I mean, we saw last season, Clay and Lance gathered together to get me out, and I ended up getting third place. And now we're starting it all over again. And he's deciding, the cheerleader, that he wants to go against a runner in a running competition. Well, I hope you back it up. I'm sick of Clay using his spare time and his free time to come for me when we could work together. I'm not coming for Clay. Clay is not a strong competitor in my eyes, so there's bigger fish to fry. Why not get these big fish out together? Clay loves to compare our stats, but he hasn't done anything. In the 4th season that he's done, he hasn't done half as much as I've done. He hasn't seen a final. He hasn't won too many dailies, and he hasn't made any moves. He's made plans, but he hasn't made any moves. So that's where it kind of comes from. Like, Clay, like, honestly, like, respectfully, like, just stop wasting your time, Grandpa. Like,
real quick. I'm going to chime in for a second. I don't want to draw this out. In Clay's defense, because CT, you're acting like he picked to be a runner to go against you on purpose so that he can, like, challenge you at anything. Clay is a good competitor. He's a really good social gamer, and he has strategic plans, and he does make moves. And you'll see, hopefully, more of that this season. However, it's not how it went down. Like, he didn't just be CT's going to run, so Clay's going to run.
That's what his entire team told me. I'm not making this up. His entire team told me that he wanted to go against me specifically for the hell of it. I'm not making this up to be cocky. That's just the dumb choice that he made.
All right. Well, Clay's not here, so we don't have his side of the story.
Yeah.
It looks like Joel has something to say, so I'm gonna let him talk.
Girl, I'm just live for the drama. I just sit in the background and watch this shit.
Why do you think I'm doing the after show?
Huh?
Why do you think I'm doing the after show?
Girl, let me join you, because this shit right here is like, this is tea.
Right. But okay. Did Brady say that CT was targeting Clay and Jalen on preseason?
I mean, I guess, yeah, no, that is what I said. But Jalen was my first target, or is my first target. So that's the only person I'm worried about, because that's the game I play. Yes, I have Clay on the back burner, but I'm not necessarily, I'm trying to get the bigger targets out who can actually, who has the better chance of beating me. And Clay, like Jalen said, I'm not trying to knock Clay. Clay is a good competitor. But on paper, I think we'll be better working with each other than against each other.
But it's a two-way street as well. So just keep that same energy in these seasons, because how you treat people outside of the season is going to impact how you work together in the season. And CT, I love you. Like, when you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming at you as
No.
being nasty. And I've told you this to your face. You need to like watch what you say, because we're not on like fucking. We're playing Caucus Challenge like 3, maybe 6 days out of the year. The other 358 matter. Who you are as a person matters. What you say outside of this game matters, because we're all human beings. And if it's game related, cool. Keep it game related. But some things could be warranted for sure. Stand up for yourself. Root for yourself. Be confident in who you are, the competitor that you are. But don't just talk shit for the sake of talking shit. Because if you oversaturate your voice in this community, when the things that you say that you really need to matter, it's not going to matter, because all we hear is blah, 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 blah. Everything becomes a blur. And you have a lot of things to say that are good, but you have a lot of things to say that are like whatever. And so I think people just tune you out altogether. So pick and choose your battles, because fight for the battles that mean the most to you, because there are some battles worth fighting for. And I hope that makes sense.
And I hear you, but I'm gonna be real. When it gets to a point where I'm like, even we've all seen it. We've behind the scenes. I've said something in group chats, and I'll randomly Clay's like, CT, I don't fuck with you, this, that, and the other. So it's just like, at the end of the day, I know Clay's never gonna be on my side. So like, why like even? And again, I'm not trying to talk shit, but at the end of the day, like mine and Clay's relationship, it is what it is, and I'm just not gonna sugarcoat it anymore. Like I did my first season. You saw I wasn't targeting Clay, wasn't coming for Clay. Clay was making plans to come for me off rep. That was his main goal. So it's just like I can only be willing to work with you for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that we can hear Clay's perspective in the future. I hope that he does come on the show. And let's get into the next part. So, I saw a story that you had posted, CT.
No.
I don't mean to you on blast specifically. It's just kind of what has been coming up recently in terms of like promotion of.
I keep it going. I get it.
All right. So you added Ozzy on your Instagram story, the elite performer, and you said, "Click the link in my bio, long legs over short legs." Short.
That was hello.
That wasn't me. That was
hello.
Sorry guys.
Yeah. See, I'm not. Listen. Not all of the problems are me.
No, I never assumed that. All right. So how did y'all feel about that Instagram post? Where did it come from? I had no idea seeing it. Like
I know a lot about it, and it's gonna sort of play out throughout the season. But you're gonna see Ozzy's gameplay. A lot of people have a problem with it, and I'm not gonna say too much. But all I'm gonna say is some people are more physical, and some people are more stronger or more social, and sometimes when you're a social player and people think that you're getting a free ride because you're not putting in or you're not competing or
Okay.
But I think that's what it is. I don't have a problem with Tello. I don't have a problem with Ozzy, but I think some people think that maybe Ozzy has a free ride sometimes. So
does anyone else have anything to say about that? No?
No.
All right, cool. So we're gonna move into the questions portion of this after show. They're gonna be super quick. And the first one is for Brady. So someone asked, other than the physical aspect of the show, what's the biggest adjustment that you had to make from playing online to playing in person?
Honestly, I think the biggest adjustment was probably just like the fact that you're playing face to face with people now. Like this is like it's like essentially like how I look at it is it's like digital chess versus physical chess, where you're sitting face to face against the people that you're playing against. So I think it really puts into perspective like the people that you're playing with and the people's emotions, and like kind of it gives you a better understanding of how they're feeling and how I don't even know what I'm saying, but I just think that how do I put it? it's just different. It's so different. It's hard to compare them. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like keyboard warrior stuff that goes on in like the Instagram community, whereas in person, like there's nowhere to hide. Like you need to have all of your cards shown at all times, whereas you can do shady shit in Instagram games. So I feel like it's completely different, honestly.
Okay. For the next one, this one's coming from the chat, the live chat. So this one's for Brady or Joel. What tips would you have for a rookie coming into the game, especially if they don't really know anyone? Joel, do you want to take that one first?
I'll take it. For me, I feel like as soon as you go in, be social. Like, be nice to people, feel people out, listen to what people say, because usually when you sit back and listen to people, they'll like reveal stuff that you might need in the game. Like, they might reveal alliances they're in, plans they might want to fulfill. So just sit back and listen and understand the game from other people's, I guess, perspective. And then put your own 2 cents in it so you can say that you did something in the game.
Okay. And Brady?
I would say 2 big things is go back and catch up on your Caucus Challenge history. Go back, watch past seasons, watch how people interact with one another, watch who you see works well together, watch who you see doesn't work well together. I think that that's a very vital thing coming in, because you want to know how other people stand with one another. Another thing, kind of like what Joel said, like using your like listening ears is a very like pivotal part, and talking to people, even if it's like before the game, even if it's just giving them a follow on Instagram, or commenting like so pretty on like someone's Instagram post, or like saying like, oh, King, go off like on someone else's. Like those small things, people will be like, oh, like you commented on my Instagram post at one time, and that can start a conversation. So honestly, I would say make sure that you're connected, at least have some sort of connection with at least 1 or 2 people when you come into the game. Catch up and review your history. And I think just be able to listen and be ready to adapt.
And then on the opposite side of that, CT and Jalen, do you guys have any advice for the rookies?
I would say honestly, just I would agree with Brady and Joel. Be social. That's the most important part. I was in the shoes where I came into the game and I knew absolutely no one besides what I knew from Instagram and stuff like that. But like I didn't do a DLWL and I've never done a Caucus Challenge season. So being social, well, I wasn't necessarily social, I was chaotic. But being social and also not being afraid. Like just because these people have titles like vets and champs doesn't mean it's not possible for you guys to outwit and outlast them. So not being afraid, and most importantly, playing your own game. Just because you, as a rookie, have an alliance doesn't mean you have to necessarily do exactly what your alliance says. You want to build your own resume. You want to play your own game, because at the end of the day, there's only going to be one winner, and your alliance is going to be what's good for you. But you also have to keep in mind that you're playing to win.
I would say, and I know it's super cliche, but you really need to trust your gut and play the game you're proud to watch yourself play. Don't leave any move or decision or whatever on the table, on the fence. Be definitive on what you want to do, but part of it is knowing yourself and what you want to do. Because in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you're going to watch yourself. And the hardest feeling is watching yourself back thinking, damn, I know I should have done this or worked with this person or said this. You have one chance. Make it count. Period. That's it. Trust your gut. Trust your heart, because you can never go wrong trusting yourself. Yeah, you're going to need to try and trust other people, but you might not be able to. But if you trust your gut and trust your heart, then just play a game you're happy that you played leaving. You know, whether you win or lose, if you can walk away and say, I gave it every part of me. I held nothing back. I wasn't scared. I didn't listen to anybody else manipulate me. I did what was best for my game. You know, play the game you're looking forward to watch yourself play in 6 months.
Yeah, I feel like Oscar said it best. Like, if she was going to pass out during the girls' elimination, like, at least she passed out. At least she tried and
Damn.
really ran it through. So, yeah, I completely agree with that. So I want to kind of know how it felt for you guys to see. This is my own question. How it felt for you guys to see the premiere, and live that whole experience through again, and kind of see it from a different perspective as opposed to being a player in the game. Does anyone want to take it first?
I mean, I'll start. Y'all know I like to talk. I mean, it's honestly crazy what you guys are gonna see. Like, this was a chaotic season. It wasn't. It was. This is honestly gonna be a season for the books, and to start reliving the moments and the reminder of the cast, the gameplay, even the lies. As crazy as it sounds, it feels good because like I feel like the cast, even though like we beef a lot with each other or things go on, like we all still have like this love for each other because like we all did this weird shit together. So it's just like you have no choice but to get a little bit emotional because like we were standing out in the hot sun, passing out, watching people get bruised up, and it's just like you have no choice. You did all of these things together. You have no choice but to have love. So it's a good feeling being able to watch it all back and like even just seeing how it all went down.
Okay. Anyone else?
I will say that it was kind of emotional, and I think it's my storyline in the premiere. Just it catered to that. But I was in Caucus for the premiere party. I was sitting next to Brady at the fucking table watching the premiere, and then Amanda was like literally across the restaurant at another table, and it was kind of hard. I found myself like really like wrapped in what was going on. Like I already knew what was going to happen, but I was so sad when I saw the altercation with me and Amanda. And we looked over each other and we're like, "Oh my gosh, I love you so much!" Like, like it's hard watching it back. And then the premiere itself was really, really refreshing because I've been in this live game community since I was 17. It's been 11 years. I've played a lot of games online and I'm playing online games in real life games since I was 17. Survivor, Brothers, the challenges, whatever. And I've never experienced the amount of love that I experienced at this premiere. And so I want to say anybody who has left positive comments, supported me, thank you so much. Because for someone who was so used to being hated, or even in the cast review going into this season as being deemed as forgettable and no one really had any notes about me and whatever, like to go into a premiere and have people send me the DMs and the messages and the comments and everything with your support, thank you so much. It's been a refreshing experience. It's a new experience, and I'm just excited to see the rest of the season play out and feel those emotions as well.
Brady?
My personal experience, my advice would be to not go into the season with braces. Don't go into the season wearing a broken dress for your confessional, and don't go into the season with a bob. Those are like the three things that like I really took away. Yeah, I'm really excited to get my face like bashed open and reconstructed before I go on next season, just because like it was the Hot Mess Express, like a whole ass ticket on that fucking train. So I honestly have
You look so good.
You look amazing, Brady.
I'm not even trying to like kiss your ass or anything. Like you looked good.
I looked like my face was lit on fire and put out with a hammer.
No,
Like,
it was so hot, guys.
Me when I lie. But I love you. Thank you. But I honestly had like such a blast, and I think that it was such like a great experience, and kind of like bouncing off of what CT said, like regardless of how like everything played out, like with everyone on the cast, like I feel like we all have like some sort of mutual like respect for one another because we had to go through such a crazy experience together. And I think that honestly, like at the end of the day, it's like a very, very, very dysfunctional family. Like there's got to be people who don't really like each other. There's got to be people who get into squabbles. There's got to be people who we're friends and then aren't friends, or aren't friends and then become friends. And it's just like honestly such like a tangled web, but like I wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm like super grateful for all the people that I got to meet and just my experiences, and like hashtag I'm hashtag Radiance for life. You guys already know, like, I'm so grateful that I have so many people rooting for me and supporting me and showing me love. And it means a lot to me. And I think just continuing to not spread hate to anybody, because we're all people, we're all humans, we all have feelings, we all have emotions, and just spreading hate is just like, what does that do for anybody? So I think just continuing to spread positivity and spread love to everyone on the cast is important as well.
And Joel.
Well, for me, watching it back, I was getting my life. Because everybody, like, I feel like this was before, like, all the drama and stuff started happening. Everybody seemed so happy and, like, in their confessionals, like, ready to play. And that was just so refreshing to, like, relive to see everybody in, like, a state where we were all, like, a big family before all of the drama. Some of the stuff I didn't like was some stuff I said, like, Kristen, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm sorry. I called you loud, but it is what it is. But, yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed watching this premiere because I got to see my family again.
Aww. Okay.
Cute.
Off of that, you guys are really gonna make me cry. This is like the first after show where I felt like really emotional. So I want to ask, is it truly like a dysfunctional family? Not newbies, rookies. How do you feel coming into this dysfunctional family? And then vets, how do you feel being maybe years into this dysfunctional family? So we'll start with Joel.
For me, coming into this crazy ass family, I was like, Lord, I thought my family was crazy. This right here is like turning it up a notch, because like you got people saying they love each other, then they hate each other, and they hate each other, and they love each other. It's like so crazy. But at the same time, you know, deep down inside, everybody respects each other in a way where they won't cross a certain line. So that's why I just loved being in this little community.
And Brady?
Wait, what was the question?
I was gonna say, like,
is it too
I would say that it was a dysfunctional family, but how did you feel as a rookie coming into it?
I feel like, honestly, like, people are always like, oh, the rookies like get ostracized. Like, well, maybe the rookies get targeted. Like, I do genuinely feel like all the veterans and like all the players like really were very open and welcoming, and like I didn't feel like any like people who are like just like cutting me off or like giving me bad looks or anything. Like, I just feel like everyone was like super kind to me, super respectful, like was willing to have conversations with me and talk to me. And I think that's important because obviously like Dre Media is a growing, expanding business essentially. And I think that having new people come in is important, 100%. Yeah, but I felt very welcomed, and I was very grateful for the veterans that did welcome me in with such open arms, for sure.
Jalen?
I joined Dre Media a few years ago with TLWL Dallas. And I was supposed to be in Colorado Springs, which not too many people know, but I got COVID like 2 days before it filmed. So joining Dre Media was something that...
I love Texas, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it too. It's great. I've met so many amazing friends through Dre Media. People that support me for me and my music and my life. And I just saw everybody at the premiere yesterday, and I just could not stop hugging everybody. And I was like, oh my gosh, like sometimes you don't realize how much you truly miss somebody until you see them again. And it really just a reminder is how much you take for granted people's friendships and your relationships with people. It's just a reminder to celebrate that and cherish that. Damn, there was one more thing I really wanted to say. I don't want to forget. Yeah, I mean, I forgot the important thing I wanted to say. Yes, I'll probably remember when CT's talking.
Okay, CT, go ahead.
Wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I remember. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'll set the question after. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, whether it's a game, caucus, TLWL, whatever, like I reflect back on like Kevin and I's relationship in that first round where I was watching back and I was like, Kevin fucked me over, but I fucking love Kevin. I like that hug was genuine. That those conversations was real. I was like, I hate that you don't see it this way, and I hate that you feel the need to do this, but I understand that's what you feel is in your best interest, and I fucking still love you regardless. Give me a fucking hug. Like, this sucks. People can love you or hate you as a competitor, but respect as a person and that family love is all around Dre Media. Dre Media is my family, and whether you host the after show or on TLWL or the Caucus Challenge or any other spin-off of Dre Media, you're in the family, and so it's really special.
That's so sweet. Oh, I love that. CT, go ahead.
I would just say, regardless of how the cast feels about me, I know that I personally have like a special love with every single body. Even if we're beefing or even if I don't like you, like I think like Brady said, like I do have that certain level of respect always. I'm always gonna support them, and I think it's weird because it's like, yeah, we might fight with each other, we might beat each other up, we might cannot stand each other, but I know for a fact if anybody comes into this Dre Media circle thinking that they're gonna try somebody, oh, it's gonna be problems. So like, I think that's the type of family I'm hoping it is. I hope people would, but but that's how I feel. Like, especially with the Caucus Challenge, like when you're playing a game, when every time you meet up, you're lying to each other, you're plotting against each other. It's gonna be hard to like separate those. But like I said, I genuinely love everybody, no matter how they feel about me, where we stand. I love everybody, and like I said, we're all family.
I love it, guys. I really hope you guys do come on again in the next few after shows. You know, we're gonna be here for a while. Just keep waiting. But I do have one last question to end this off. If you could describe what to expect for the viewers in one word for the rest of the season, how would you describe it? Let's start with Brady.
Oh, I knew it. I'm like so bad at this stuff.
One word to describe what to expect.
One word?
Yes.
There's so many words that I could use. What? Come back to me. I need to think.
Okay, I got you. CT, go ahead. One word.
I would have to say, honestly, traumatic. I think
Traumatic.
you guys,
Okay.
honestly, I think you guys, like the stuff that went down on this season, I think you guys are gonna be entertained, but you're also gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Like, but yeah, I would have to say dramatic. Chaotic too.
That's a very interesting one word. Jalen?
I would say unexpected.
Okay.
This twist of the whatever resurrection twist is just the beginning. Dre is fucking crazy. So
yeah, you guys
unexpected. Get ready.
And Joel?
Can I do 2 words because I'm extra?
You can do 2 words.
Yay. I'm going to say hot mess. Because baby, some people's decisions they made, hot mess. Attitude, hot mess. Like, it's going to be a hot mess. And y'all are going to enjoy it. So get ready.
I'm so excited, but I'm also really scared now. Okay, Brady, you're up.
I would say probably, I like literally every time I thought of a word, someone else just said, and I was like, wait. I'd say probably unique, because I don't think that there's any season before that is like this one. I feel like this one is like in a league of its own, honestly. It's going to be insane to watch for sure.
Yeah.
I am so excited. Please join us again next week. Tune in on Sunday, guys, for the Caucus Challenge Season 14 Resurrection on YouTube, Dre Media. Keep up on the Instagram. Keep up on our Twitter, our TikTok, all that. And thank you guys so much for tonight. Thank you guys for spilling everything, giving me all the answers I wanted.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hopefully I see you guys soon. All
yes.
Right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.